Alright, so in this debate, I represent the Enlightenment and the scientific revolution. And in my opinion, the revolution has actually improved people's lives. Before the age of Enlightenment and the scientific revolution, all throughout Europe, there was always absolute monarchs. There was no religious tolerance, and also there was this idea of divine right, and this idea of divine right stopped everybody from believing in reason, and people only focused on it as beliefs in religion. So before the Enlightenment spread, people believed that the Earth was in the center of the universe until Copernicus came and said that belief was wrong and that the sun was in the center. Also, John Locke believed that every man had rights, and those rights were life, liberty, and property. This idea from John Locke, it helps stimulate people's sense of individualism and also the belief in equal rights. So basically, when John Locke he stated of this life, liberty, and property, people believed that everybody had a share to be free, and so like this is what stimulated everybody's opinion, basically. And Voltaire also talked about how everybody should have the power of free speech. He stated in one of his famous quotes, "I do not agree with the word that you say, but I will defend you. But I will defend it to the death." So,
I will defend to the death your right to say it. Thank you. Nice job.
Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette. Life was hard for peasants. There was no voice. People were starving. French Revolution. But during the Reign of Terror, there was supposed to be a reform. People were supposed to have rights. We tried to limit the monarch's power with the Dorm Act. We gave the rights of man for fair tax structure, natural rights, freedom of speech. But the way we implemented these rights weren't the best of ways we could have handled it. For example, Robespierre, the one who was supposed to lead us into the revolution, was eventually put to death for tyranny. And we wanted to restart the calendar from making 1792 being year one forward, which was very radical thinking at the time. Church lands were sold and priests were made to become state officials and work for the state, which a majority of the population didn't agree with, because there should be a separation between church and state. Wasn't that the reason for revolt?
Question is for Napoleon. So, as we know, before the revolution, people didn't have the rights that they wanted, and so they revolted. Can you read off the rights that you gave them, and in the Napoleon Code, and then in a little bit Napoleon's army?
Glorious revolution. My question is, did absolute monarchs have to limit their power and give some control to the people?
Yes.
Elaborate.
Yes, because the Bill of Rights and Parliament stopped them. They checked them similar to the checks and balancing system here in America that we have today. So yeah, it was like that. No Parliament check on the king, make sure they don't become too much of an absolute monarch.
Can we say that was enlightened?
Nice job, Adonis. Did the Enlightenment affect France? Sir, Joe Mill, sit or stand, whatever you want.
For me, I will say that the French Revolution, as told by Lucy from the Third Estate, who revolted with the people against the king since they were influenced by the Enlightenment ideas rather than divine right. So she explains from three evidence that one, that everyone wanted limited power from the monarchy so they can spread their Enlightenment ideas and follow it. The second also will say that while they want to spread and they want to make everyone know that the Enlightenment ideas are good, she explains that the way they do it was too extreme, which follows up the third evidence that they use a guillotine, which Robespierre and the Jacobins created, so anyone who disagrees, even the slightest, would chop anyone's head off, and Robespierre believes that this is humane since they don't feel pain. But for her, this is way too extreme.